post the link to the server thing. And the music does need to go down a little bit, so we'll try that there. There we are, music is down low. And my voice is hearable. Let's change songs, we know which bit we're up to, so I can tickle my tummy. Okay, it's all good to go. Let's get the stream started. Boom, link is posted. Let's get the show on the road. So, there's our nice Astana looking background. And what else do we have here? We have... so, loading our save game. Double check the settings. We have set normal 1, 1, and 3. So, next 7 stages will be about 2 hours time, 2 hours long. So, stage 8 starting with is Montpellier. It's a nice flat stage where there's some intermediate mountain points and sprint points on offer. Stage 9 is a nice hilly stage, so there's quite a lot of action, quite a lot of mountain points on offer there. Stage 10, the mountain time trial. We will expect maybe Vingegaard to catch up some time that he has lost. Stage 11, another mountain stage. 12, geez, lots of mountain stage. 13 is the mountain stage, and then 14 we're finishing with a sprint stage. It's a very short stage, in fact, 95 kilometers long. Checking back on the results before we get in at the end of week 7. Evenepoel was leading. Poggi, Skelmos, Pedersen, Vingegaard, Vlasov, Jorgensen, Rodriguez, Healy, and Sivakov. Points is Pedersen leading by 2 singular points to Jasper Philipsen, Milan in 3rd, Evenepoel, Pidcock and Muller. Mountain is Dries de Bont, who's been fighting against Saint Uterbrooks for that. Jersey Youth is of course Evenepoel as well, same as GC, and team is Team T-Mobile Bianchi. Let's get into the race. So the first week was early on in the day. Wasn't so great. A few stages it cried about loading, but it's all right now. So here we are on the start line. Graphics are turned up back once again. We see the Bont from Red Bull KTM in the KTM jersey, Evenepoel from T-Mobile Bianchi in the yellow jersey, Credit Agricole Pedersen in green, and Skelmos in white. And straight away we have got the same players from almost every stage. Quick Step and Bora getting into the breakaway. Plancart is 7th in the KOM classification. Interesting. No one else has really any points, but look at this beautiful city that we're in. Here we go, more riders are joining them. Another rider from Quick Step, Dion Smith, the Kiwi. He wore the mountain jersey in the actual Tour of France one year when he was riding for Wanty Back when they were actually called Wanty Gobert or whatever, for their Intermarché. But it looks like they're not being allowed to escape. As you see Red Bull KTM and Team HTC on the front. Let's speed it up a little. We've got a few big stages to go through today, so we don't want to spend too much time on the plateau. Four minutes is now the advantage. 4 minutes fourth has become up to the KOM point where Plankart's really the only one with points. There's 3 points on offer. It's not going to do anything to the overall mountain standings, but I guess Quickstep was going to earn the breakaway classification if there was one. 1K, are we going to see an attack? Ooh, Jorgensen is going for it. Norsgaard drops back at the wrong moment, trying to get Plankart maximum points, but letting Jorgensen take the 3 points down. As we can see, no change in the overall. Although, there is an intermediate sprint coming up in about 5.5 kilometers time. We'll get that going shortly. Back into the swing of things. Here we go. 600 meters. The breakaway actually going to fight for it? They are not. They're just flicking their shoulder. Heading back to the peloton, we are expecting to see Jesper Philipsen. Yep, we see Red Bull KTM with a lead out. Where is Philipsen? If we got those labels on, we have Philipsen's. There he is there. Second in that points jersey. He's kind of bunched in at the moment. There's 2.4Ks to go. Melier is near on the left hand side. On the right hand side, Lotto leading out Dili, who is bunched in a bit. Milan with Bauhaus. They're going to take it then. Bauhaus is a great lead up man. Van Uden coming up behind Melier, finishing it off at the back with Groenewegen and Muschetti even just trying to get into the fun. But well done to Milan, who of course is no longer in green. He is sitting in third. And we missed that pop-up on the top of the screen to see who's now in the virtual points jersey. Let's speed up the simulation a bit till we get to the next intermediate sprint. I'll look at the replay to see what's happening. Philipsen is provisionally now in the green jersey. How good. Jesper Philipsen. Well done. Red Bull KTM, HTC and Bahrain Victorious, the teams of the big sprinters were working today. So I got to turn on that. NVIDIA broadcast. There we go. Still 20K to the intermediate sprint. Pan flat, beautiful surroundings. I don't like how the graphics look at the bushes. They appear just ahead as we go around the corner and they disappear slowly behind us. Let's hope PCM 25 looks a bit nicer. From what I heard, we're going to need a beast of a computer to run that engine. 2 minutes is the gap. The break is definitely a day for the peloton. Second intermediate sprint inbound. They're going for it again. Probably not. They're not, so we'll head back to the peloton, where we see Dries de Bont getting into the mix there. Alexander Kristoff on the front, followed by Caden Groves and Groenewegen. There's Muschetti, looks like a day for the second tier sprinters. Milan, Melier and Philipsen way out of position. Philipsen now in the virtual lead, 4 points ahead of Milan and 9 points ahead of Pedersen. A 3-horse race. Oh, I didn't make a bet for who's going to win the stage, did I? Let's have a look. I reckon Groenewegen's going to be up there. Not one of the main three, but I reckon he's got the lead out for today. The break has only got a minute left. It's still HTC and Red Bull KTM pushing the pace. Small little hill here. Little rise in the road. We say we have caught the Bora rider. There's just Eddie Plankart out in front. There we are, all back together. Evenepoel at the front in his yellow jersey. 35Ks to go. 2 kilometers of wind, slight crosswind, but nothing too major. $22Ks to go. Sprint trains will begin to form. May as well go to 15Ks to go. There's no point commentating flat bunch sprint. There we go. 15Ks to go. Let's have a look. Groenewegen with Groupama, FDJ on the left-hand side, Cyril Barth and Busato in front of him, but we've got the other two main trains. HTC for Miller, Red Bull KTM for Philipsen. Oh, and I see this small train there for Bahrain, and there's a fall in the pack. A few riders are on the ground. That is Adam Yates for Hogarden Farm Frights. Also Arns, Jorgensen and Grobschartner. But Adam Yates looks to be abandoning the tour. That's unlucky for the Hogarden squad. Back to the front of the race with 10 kilometers to go on the left-hand side. Behind Groenewegen is Muschetti, De Lee and Christoph. Pogacar and Evenepoel, they're looking for some wheels here in the sprint. 8.5 k's to go. Having a quick look at the map. Is it too technical? There's a few corners, a few more corners than they would probably like in a sprint stage. Lamperty sitting in behind Milan. Ryan Givens there for Team Dimension Data, an absolute outsider. It'd be brilliant if Dimension Data got a sprint win. Pedersen has not got a lead out. He's sitting behind Groves, who's sitting behind Miller. 5.2 k's to go. We see Incorn pull off, blocking Schmidt there as Red Bull KTM move up. Brivake on the right-hand side. 4 k's to go. Groenewegen, his train's a bit far behind. He's not looking like he's in a great position to take this 3 k's. We should see the almost time for the lead-out man now. Mauro Schmidt doing a great push was the line. He's about to pull across. There he goes. Dries de Bont starts the sprint. Bauhaus in through the middle. Milan in prime position. Behind him is Lamperty. They're slowing down a little. He should have. He's left his sprint a little bit too late. Philipsen tries to come around, but Milan just had the best lead-out man on the day. Muller taking third, Pedersen in fourth, which means I think Milan goes back into the green jersey, if I'm not mistaken. No time gaps, really. Sweeney losing time. Of course, Adam Yates, DNF from the tour. I'm disconnected. How good. There we have it, stage 8 winner, Jonathan Milan. There you go, just put that DNF in. There he is there, well done. Same time as Philipsen and Emilia. What a great sprint that was. Remco Evenepoel still leads, no changes in the top 10. Best climber, no changes there obviously. And points, yes, Milan is back in green. Remco still in white, and T Mobile Bianchi is still in the team's classification. Oh yeah, that's right. The only thing is, since Adam Yates DNF, unlucky for him, everyone moves up a place. Carapaz up 1, De Plus up, Magnus Kort Nielsen top 13. I mean, the hills really haven't started yet. Pidcock moves up, great for Team Sky. Points, we see there's all the 3 here are playing, well, they're really close to each other really. Everyone else is a bit far off. Mountain, no change. Young Rider, no change. Team, no change. Stage 9, the mountains begin. We will be finishing up I can't even pronounce that, man. But there's some big hills in this stage, basically. Of course, the favourites are Poggi, Vingegaard, Evenepoel, Carapaz. As you'd expect, anyone with 78, 79 mountain. My boy Vlasov, 77 mountain, degraded in the latest updates. But fair enough, man, he's been performing not the greatest in real life. My pick will be, I'm going to say Rodriguez. HTC, their man in waiting, 8th overall. It's a day for him. And here we are on the start line, another beautiful city with some clouds in the sky, looking brilliantly as per always. No changes in the jersey wearers. So let's get our labels on and let's get into the stage. Could we see a big breakaway today? Perhaps. There is some intermediate sprints on offer. Hopefully some of the sprinters get... Hey, Pidcock's in the break. That's an interesting move by the young British lad. Look at these bloody big hills. It's going to be a tough day nonetheless. Day for the breakaway, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say still a GC day. Let's hope Vlasov gets some protection here as we see Ooh, Quickstep did not make it into the breakaway, so they're rolling on the front of the peloton. In the breakaway at the moment is Tom Pidcock, 20th overall, 4 minutes down. Dries de Bont, Red Bull KTM, the KOM leader. Peter Gamper trying to get across so he can help his leader, and Will Smith from Dimension Data. These boys must be trying to set up for an attack to get in the breakaway, surely. Hogan and Farm Fright's also working hard at the front, but really it's just the quick step train. Big long line here as we see Rui Costa, the Portuguese national champion, also on the front. Hogan and Farm Frights have lost their GC leader, I'm pretty sure, so that is why they're working. Yep, that is why they are working to get into the breakaway. Their aim has changed, and Pidcock has been caught by the effort from Quickstep. It's getting a little bit warm, so I had to take my jacket off. Apologies. There's another little attack with Team Sky. Paul Seychelles this time. Sergio Higuita from Benfica. Grob Schartner. They just looks like this is the break to go away as we see. Oh, Mapai finds himself towards the front. Vlasov must be feeling good today. He sent all his domestics up towards the front. Moschetti, Youngles, Donovan, Van Hoyke, Strong, and Fogelsang. Who is actually protecting Vlasov? No one. Oh, no. Rikonov. His... Hello! Welcome! His compatriot. We now see Tom Pidcock trying to get into the breakaway, but to no avail. Heading back up the road, Red Bull KTM have got 2 men in the breakaway, De Bont and Grob Schartner. A further minute 30 back to Petra Gamper, also from Red Bull KTM. Intermediate sprint inbound. Will these lads be sprinting for it? They will not. Alexei Boudon takes maximum points there. How many points? There'll still be some points on offer for the peloton. Will we see some of the sprinters? Looks like Philipsen's up towards the front. Moschetti's here. Will Moschetti sprint for it? He will not. Philipsen goes and takes the 7 points on offer. Moschetti, because he was working on the front, takes some more points in that classification. Heading back to the front of the race, it looks like Petra Gamper will not make it into the breakaway today. Let's increase the simulation speed and start going up the hills. Hello, Nicolas Flagothia. Classic Discord. Check this one's something I need to... Ah, what is that? Poggy time. Oh god, yeah, what team are you? You Credit Agricole, are you? Poggy time start today? Absolutely. Juan Pedro Lopez is in the break. I think I missed that. Paul Seychelles, Higuita, Smith, Bolden, De Bont, and Grob Schartner. And there's an attack there by Lopez. Seychelles is keeping up, and who gets dropped from the breakaway there? Grob Schartner does. Red Bull KTM not in a great place, it seems. 10Ks to the top of the climb, with 15 points will be on offer, which De Bont, of course, wants to increase his lead over Uterbrooks. Counter-attack by Alexei Boudon, followed by Higuita. Lopez. Seychelles is pacing De Bont back in as Smith is now gone. Can't believe Grob Schartner died before Smith did. In the peloton, it is being led by still Milram, Mapai, Netherlands Lottery, and Team Mobile Bianchi. 7Ks to the top now, going through a really tough percentage. And we see an attack now by Felix Grobschartner. He's dropping De Bont. De Bont is gone. Grobschartner was faking it in the first half of the stage, it seems. Counter-attack by no one. Seychelles is looking worse for wear, the Team Sky rider. 5.4Ks to the top.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
Don't know why they're building in the road. Be careful of that, lads. Don't know why they're attacking the shit out of each other. Should be working together to make the breakaway succeed. 1.7 kilometers to the top will slow down the simulation rate. See if anyone's going to attack up this climb here. Yes, Grobschartner goes once again. Lopez straight into his wheel. There's now an all-out sprint. Seychelles sits up. He's dead. Alexei Boudon, the Frenchman, takes first, I think, there. Yes. Head of Grobschartner. And everyone slows down to recover at the top of the hill. Dries de Bont and Smith. Will there be a sprint between these two over the top? There is. Smith goes for it. De Bont obviously wants to try and keep his jersey. And we wait for the peloton to come through with Netherlands Lottery on the front. Vlasov's moving up in the peloton, as is Evenepoel, Skelmoser and Pogacar. But they've all got the domestics on them, I think. De Bont still leads 10 points ahead of Uterbrooks. Interesting. Bont about to be caught by the peloton. Youngle's now on the front, helping out for Alexander Vlasov. Let's head back to the front of the race and let's increase the simulation speed once again. We've then got a horse category, whatever they call itself, but that looks like an absolute painful hill. Small little rise here, not much happening. Gap to the peloton's about 4 minutes 40. Here we go, 7Ks to the top. Average gradient 10%, maximum gradient 19%. What the hell of a hill. Paul Seychelles is just chilling in no man's land, 3 minutes ahead of the peloton, minute 30 behind. No one's been dropped from the peloton as of yet, but maybe this hill will do it. Looking down the mountain, we can see the peloton further behind. What a beautiful kind of hill. $5Ks to the top. Let's increase it again. The question is, will these bastards attack the shit out of each other again? Probably. Small increase in pace there by Grobschartner. We see the group slowly stretch out. Maybe Lopez has taken over some of the pace making. Bolden looks to be a little bit worse. We're chilling on the back. He is. Bolden drops from the breakaway. Just 3 men left out in front. $1.3Ks to go to the top. Higuita's gone. Lopez is waiting for Higuita, I think. But Grobschartner takes maximum points here. As he continues down the hill. Back in the peloton, what is happening? Rukunov, the Russian national road race champ, is on the front of the peloton for Team Mapai. Vingegaard's got his goons ahead of him. Evenepoel chilling here by himself. Kim Hajduk for Skelmoser. The peloton is being stretched out across these slopes. Vlasov moving back in the peloton, for fuck's sake, man. And the first rider from the peloton has been dropped. It is Matteo Moschetti. Ah, you better keep up, man. If you DNF this stage, I'm gonna cry. Paul Seychelles is gone. He's gone straight through from the breakaway, and Patrick Eddy, I want to say. Will Holmes, Jorgen, yeah, you know, guys we don't really mind too much about. Looking at the KM classification, still Dries de Bont leading. Grobschartner is 30 points behind. Moving back to the front of the race, Grobschartner out in front is solo. Fall in the pack by someone else. Miller's off the back. A lot more riders are being dropped. The big gaps opening up on the descent. We see the likes of Pierre Latour having to close the gap for Max Poole. Mühlberger in a little bit of trouble here at the moment. Why is he? No, he's not trouble. Pedersen, he's well, you know what's happening. Let's head to the front where we see a regrouping of Grobschartner, Higuita and Lopez. Hopefully the three of them can work together on this Category 1 climb. Pick de Font Freda. It's Grobschartner just doing all the work, it seems. There we go, then Lopez takes some turn, but Higuita's not rolling through. Bet it's some sort of tactical choice.
Humans, what have you learned?
Gap is only 3 minutes to the peloton, now being led by Team Milram. Still Mapai, Netherlands Lottery, and who else is there? And maybe a little bit of Credit Agricole. By Credit Agricole I mean Poggy's there. More riders are dropped out the back. Looks like the green jersey's no longer in the bunch. We see George Bennett getting some bottles there for his Benfica squad. Anna DeLee still here. Where is Pedersen? Pedersen is still chilling in the peloton. If he makes it up this hill, he could still be in contention for the GC. Back at the front, 5.9 kilometers to the top. Grobschartner still doing all the work. He's trying to move across. Ah, you see everyone else is just dead. Lopez is dead. Higuita's dead once again. Groschartner might be riding himself into that mountain jersey. I don't think he's going to get enough points though. Oh, sneaky attack from Minkies. We missed that entirely. Minkies attacked from the peloton to take maximum points there. Whoopsies. Heading back to the peloton. Milram and Mapai on the front. Still De Bont leading by 10 points, 20 points over Groschartner. Two riders out in front. Groschartner getting some rest in the wheel of Louis Minkies. Minkies, of course, 22nd overall. Look at the rest of the profiles. Going into this little valley, we have an intermediate sprint, and then not so tough hill, but it will be tough after all the kilometers they've done so far. The peloton is now 49 riders, as Mads Pedersen has now been dropped. There will definitely be a reshuffle of the top 10 on today's stage. Pidcock's still here, even after he tried to attack early on in the stage. Higuita's just chilling in the peloton. Minute 45 is the advantage. Still looks like a day for the peloton, not for the breakaway, although Groschartner is going to be trying his hardest to stay away. Wonder what a Minky's leader jersey would look like. Anyway, intermediate sprint incoming. Anyone going to go for it out of these two? 3 bonus seconds on offer. Puncture for Victor Campenaerts at the back of the race. Not important here. Peloton only 46 seconds behind, being led in by Riccatello. Interesting choice for Bora. Don't think they have really anyone in the GC. Is anyone really caring about these points? It does not seem like it. Jesper Philipsen in the virtual lead by 3 points ahead of Milan. 25 kilometers to go. Vingegaard's moving up the peloton, looking towards the back of this little group. It is Hogard and Farm Fright. So there's a lot of trees here. Makes the stage look pretty, but pain in the ass. Get a camera. There's an attack now. Louis Minky's going again, and he's lost out. Butrago's gone on the offensive. George Bennett trying to follow, unable. Harm van Hoyke trying to pace him back. Now it's time for Bob Jungels from the Mapai squad. Whereas Vlasov, their leader, they can't just pace at the front with no leader. Pidcock, he looks like he's struggling a little bit on some of these climbs. Jungels and Izagiri doing the work. Gregoire now moving through. Riccatello must be going all in for the stage. Butrago has a 20-second lead now with 20 kilometers to go. George Bennett looking dead. Ah, David Gaudu's the leader. That's right. Gaudu's also moving back in that group. That's less than ideal. Evenepoel sitting right at the back of the bunch, the yellow jersey. I wouldn't be sitting there if I were you, mate. Vogelsang drops back for some reason, as does Jungels. Oh, don't tell me all my domestics are dead. Which team is Visma? Ah, brother, if I remembered which team Visma was. I think that the... don't recall. I do not recall which team is which. But Butrago still has 26 seconds with 15 kilometers to go. There's Fogelsang, looks like he was grabbing some bottles there for Vlasov. On the front, Bilbao, is he trying something? Is he going to be a little, what do they call them, satellite rider for Vingegaard? Fogelsang back to the front, pulling the pace. Skelmoser having to chase the gap down himself. Lipovitz and T-Mobile for Remco Evenepoel. Steinhauser dropping out of the bunch. We talk about Riccatello. Higuita's gone. Mario Schmid, Kwiatkowski, Bjerg. 2 riders out in front. Bilbao has been caught as he goes once again. 11 kilometers to go. But Butrago is 5 minutes down in GC. Not a GC issue, but a lot of these riders will be also fighting for the stage. A little bit of bunching now. 9 kilometers to go. We're about to hit this nice little wall. Average 9%, max 16%. 2.6 kilometers long. What a long climb. Lipovitz on the left-hand side for Evenepoel. And they've caught Butrago. It's all come back together. 33 riders coming into the finish. Mark Hirsch and Fogelsang just off the back. At the front, there's an increase in the pace. Lipovitz for Remco. Kevin Varquelin moving up for Warren Barguil, I want to say, or maybe the other way around. Barguil for Varquelin. Bilbao, he is paying for his effort now. Vlasov needs to move up the peloton or else he's going to get dropped. Ben Healy there being protected by Josh Tarling. Well, I say that as Tarling drops to the back. Pidcock moving up and through the middle. There it is, Carlos Rodriguez, the man who I said would ignite the stage. Does so, attacking through the middle. Anyone being dropped from this move? A few of the domestics, but none of the riders in the top 10. Yes, a bit of blocking has happened. Healy, Skelmoser, Jorgensen all dropped, and Vlasov, of course, as Rodriguez just rides away from the front group. Vingegaard is dead. Jonas Vingegaard has no energy. Now would be the time to attack. Vlasov is dead too. That's very unlucky for him. 4 kilometers to go now. Pogačar on the front, doing most of the work. He's asking for his team to come through. Ben Healy with a sneaky attack on the right-hand side. Vlasov sitting in his wheel. It is a plateau. It is going to be a mass bunch sprint except for Rodriguez. 50 seconds ahead of the bunch. Is no one else going to do anything? They're all just waiting for the sprint. There goes Carlos Rodriguez taking the stage. Like I said he would. Pogačar is now going to sprint it out against Pidcock and Healy. Team Sky, 2 riders up here, but Pogačar takes second. Please don't lose time, Vlasov. Please don't lose time, Vlasov. He's going to lose a bit of time here. Vingegaard losing out, but still, I think, hopefully roughly the same time. Lipovitz losing time, but he was working for Remco. Skelmoser, the wearer of the white jersey, 3rd overall. He will be falling back in that top 10. Bilbao, Buitrago, and Mauro Schmid not having a good race. Anyway, let's fast forward this. Oh, let's hope Moschetti makes a time cut is all I care about. Yeah, 6Ks to go. An hour to do it. He can do it. All that work for Vlasov just to get, like, ruined at the end. What a classic day. 2.2 Ks to go for Moschetti. And look at that, he makes it with ease. There we are. Podium, let's have a look, shall we? Well done, Carlos Rodriguez, taking stage 9 of the Tour de France. 53 seconds ahead of Tadej Pogačar. That's going to move him up the GC, up to 2nd even. Look at the new GC here. Evenepoel, Rodriguez, Pogačar, Vingegaard, Vlasov. A little bit of change in the top 10. Rodriguez jumping everyone, and a few of the Danish riders dropping out, down. Skelmoser was above Vlasov. Best climber still Dries de Bont for Red Bull KTM. Philipsen in that green jersey with the fight with Milan. Ah, Visma's Credit Agricole. There we go. Milan is Bahrain victorious and Pedersen in 3rd. Remco in the white jersey still, but Rodriguez now gets to wear that instead of Skelmoser. Team classification is still Team Mobile Bianchi. There we are, Ava. There. Stage 9. So looking at some of those time gaps, we see Skelmoser losing 2 minutes 19 on the stage. Kurt Nielsen, Lipovitz, Barguil, and of course did anyone DNF? No, but Moschetti 59 minutes down, unlucky for him. Pogačar down. Oh, Pogačar was 2nd. Okay, Rodriguez up 6, everyone else up 1 place really. Skelmoser down, Kurt Nielsen down. Mads Pedersen, of course, the sprinter, or the versatile rider outside of the top 10 now. Points, of course, still a highly contested battle between Philipsen and Milan. Mountain still Dries de Bont, but Grobschardt getting a bit closer. Young rider, Evenepoel versus Rodriguez, and team still Team Mobile Bianchi. Stage 10, individual time trial. A mountain time trial as that. Mountain stat will play a big part in it, as will TT stat. Favourites are Poggi, Vingegaard, Evenepoel. I'm going to pick, I think Jorgensen's got a good chance to win the stage. as per all, oh, Moschetti's dead last. Hooray! I get the Lantern Rouge in my team. Anyway, we're going to fast forward the riders until we get to either someone who's good at mountains. We're going to keep it on basically until the top 10 comes through, top 20 maybe. Yeah, actually it's probably a better idea because we don't want to be here all day. But Matteo Moschetti is first at the first time check. He gets beaten already by Will Holmes. Jeez. Moschetti's going to be last at everyone here so far. Absolutely, he will be. He's losing significant time. Will Holmes passing him. Moschetti is definitely going to be last on the stage. But taking a look at the stage as we go through it, I think no one of any significance at the moment starting the race. Nice little flat, then climbing this hill, which looks like an absolute pain in the ass to do, I would say. I would not want to do this stage in real life. Well, I would, but like, I wouldn't want to, if that makes sense. We see Moschetti's losing significant time on the climb, but he's gaining back on Will Holmes here. Holmes has gone out too quick at the start, and there he is. 56 minutes is the time to beat at the moment. Patrick Eddy coming through. Let's wait till we get to some big climbers. Maybe some of the domestics coming through. Remy Cavagna, TT specialist. He's got reasonable hill. He's the first at the second time check. Currently 121st overall, hence why the time's 4 speed, because it's going to be a waste of my time, waste of your time, waste of everyone's time if we are just timesing 1 for everyone who we think is somewhat important until we get to the top 10. He sets no. Patrick Gamper is leading that stage. Okay, so it seems TT stat until the first 2 time checks, and then after that it's all about mountain stat. The first reasonable rider here, the Frenchman from Intermarché, I can't pronounce his name. He is first at this, so it's definitely up to climb. He's now 47 minutes, so it is significantly faster than other riders who have been through before. As we see here, the Eritrean national TT champion. He's setting a decent time up the hill so far. He's passing first at the second time check. Will he be able to hold on to the finish? He does. He takes first at the third time check, 47 minutes. How fast will the fastest rider be on the day? Harry Sweeney now beginning his race, 87th overall, 41 minutes down. He's sitting in third. Mick Van Dyke, not really worth the time to watch. Balke Mollema, he could do reasonably well, 72 TT. Currently third, who's that? Just behind him, Ben Turner, doing reasonably well as well, but Mollema's doing great. He's passed his Minuteman, passes 2 Minuteman even. 400 meters, here goes Mollema to the line, and the new best time, 46.52. Grobschattner now for, well, who's that? Just hit Grobschattner. Paul Seychard is taking the new best time at the top of the hill. Grobschattner coming through now. New best time, 51 minutes. Oh. Let's increase that speed. Corbin Strong's at Victor Campenarts, he's got decent TT, blah 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 blah. Don't really know how to talk through all these stages. I think he's losing a bit of speed here up the hill, so I'm not expecting him to be great. Nope. Okay, it really is just about that second time check. Entering the top 50 now with the riders. There's George Bennett, 11th at the second time check. Let's keep an eye on him because we haven't kept an eye on a rider for a while. I'm not expecting amazing things for him. I'm not expecting horrible things from him either. We see him, he was 13th, but he's dropping, so we've got some good climbers going through the ranks now. Yeah, it seems everyone behind him is pretty much beating him up this climb. He's in 5th currently, a minute 31 down. 7th for Bob Youngles for Mapai GB. Hopefully it's enough of a split that he can climb into first. Nope, 6th. Cool. Rui Costa. Oh, Nils Pollitt again with the German TT National Champs kit. Beautiful jersey. He finishes second, a whole minute down on Grobschardt though. Romain Gregoire within 10 seconds at that second time check. Third, 45 seconds. Ion Izagirre doing a blistering time here, it seems. Third, 34 seconds. We're in the top 20 yet, almost. Oh, Josh Tarling with his British TT kit for Team Sky. He's got the British pants, he's got the British top. Whew. Look at him go, 3.5 kilometers to go. He's looking strong here. Two kilometers go for him. Checking no one's closing up behind him. Apologies, lads. Just multitasking, as it always is. 100 meters to go. He is a minute down. Oi! Someone just beat his time at the first time check. Second time check. Who's done that? Ooh, Kevin Vakulin did reasonable in the first TT. He's doing reasonable this time. Third at that first time check. 5 seconds down on Tarling, but he's got the hill stat to back it up. It looks like we could be seeing a new best time here. No, 8 seconds down on Grobschardt. Grobschardt is sitting in the hot seat for a long time today. Tom Pidcock now is currently 16th overall in the race. Now we'll slow down the simulation speed a bit, just so we don't miss riders. We'll do ×2 max for the rest of the race. He is catching his minute man there, Magnus Cort Nielsen, who isn't doing too badly actually. Cort Nielsen's only 33 seconds down, and Pidcock is making a minute up on that. Cort Nielsen is just missing out because of his mountain stat, because holy hell, look at that course. Whew, some new best times come through as Pidcock's time is blown away. Hey, we missed out on Butrago. Butrago came through the new best time. I feel unlucky about that. Lipovitz comes through. Dunbar's already a minute down at the second time check. Les Lipovitz, new best time, Team Mobile Bianchi. Romain Bardet, he's also got nothing to answer for. ×1, so we don't miss anyone else. David Gaudu, the Frenchman, 12th overall, 2 minutes 51 down on the Remco Evenepoel. I think Evenepoel is just going to extend his lead on today's stage. Gaudu finishes third, provisionally. Lawrence de Plus, he looks like he is struggling. He's 11th. He looks to be losing time to everyone else. He's a minute down at that first time check. He'll only lose more time, I think. 2 minutes down, I reckon. 33 seconds down. Never mind. He made it up. Skelmoser no longer in the white jersey. What's happened to him? First. Well done, Skelmoser. Okay, interesting. Second time check really doesn't have too much influence nowadays. 9th best rider, former Ecuadorian national champion for Groupama FDJ, Richard Carapaz, coming up towards the line. 5th, 31 seconds down, Pavel Sivakov, the French hopeful, 8th overall. I think he's the best placed Frenchman in the GC classification. Minute 12 down at that second time check. 40 seconds at the first. Can he make it up over the climb now? He could not. Minute 41 down. Gaudu, the best placed Frenchman on the stage so far. 7th place, Ben Healy, but behind him is Jorgensen. Jorgensen's the man who I said was going to win the stage. Here goes Ben Healy. Minute 57. Riders not doing too great here. Jorgensen, yeah, he's washed. Vingegaard though. New best time for Jonas Vingegaard. 2 minutes ahead of Skelmoser. Here comes Vlasov now. Ah, for fuck's sake, losing almost 3 minutes. Pogačar, can he beat the likes of Vingegaard? Can he take a new best time? He cannot, but within 3 seconds. Rodriguez losing significant time on the TT as Remco Evenepoel setting new best times at all the time checks. He's also about to catch his minute man, putting a minute into Rodriguez, but Rodriguez in the all-white jersey for Team HTC Columbia. He's coming up to the line now, and he will finish in 4th, 2 minutes down, and Evenepoel sets the 3rd best time. Evenepoel went out too early. Vingegaard of Team Netherlands Lottery takes the stage. Ahead of Pogačar, Evenepoel followed by the rest. Shit. Let's see what it's done to the GC though. Remco even the pole, still in the lead. Pogačar closing the gap now. 11 seconds behind. Vingegaard up to third. Rodriguez dropping to fourth. Vlasov, I think, staying in fifth. Everyone else moving around a bit, and Pavel Sivakov dropping to 10th overall. 5 minutes separating the top 10. Has this stage changed any of the other minor classifications? No. De Bont still leading. Mountain Philipston still leading points, and Remco still leading white. Timo Bianchi still in the team classification. Interesting turn of events here today. Slowest rider of the day was Tim Miller, 15 minutes down, not Muschietti, not too bad. But looking at the overall change, Poggy up to Vingegaard up, sorry, Poggy up 1, Vingegaard 1, Rodriguez down 2, Vlasov stays where he is, but everyone else in the top 10 moves. De Plus into the top 10, Skelmoser from 10th to 6th, Jorgensen and Sivakov dropping, and Healy outside the top 10. Any big losers on today. We're dropping significant number of places. No major changes. Points, of course, no change really there. Remco with a few more points. Interesting. Stage 11. Another mountain stage, another Poggy masterclass expected. I reckon Rodriguez is going to try and get revenge and try something on that little hill there. What's his hill stat? Nothing. In that case, I think it's going to be with Trago. He's got the acceleration and the hill to try and take the stage. And he's outside of the top 10 in GC. Let's get into it.
Terrain that commands respect, and only a strong man will have what it takes. It's certainly not a task for weak or ill-prepared riders.
And we're on the start line straight away. There's an attack from Steinhauser. Let's get our labels on to see who the favourites are in the race. Max Pull also getting in, so it looks like a few. Hey! Why is Vlasov going in the break? Oh, for fuck's sake. Cool, big break happening. Huge break happening on today's stage. Interesting. Evenepoel on the front. There is 30 riders up the road with Riccatello, Romo, Kort Nielsen, Mogadou, Le Cerf, Grobschartner, Bolden, Abrahamson, Hergot, Menkes, Van Giels, Gigat, Higita, Sweeney, Buggy, Eolotti, Vinokorov, I can never pronounce this Eritrean's name, Parkwat, Pidcock, Poole, Dunbar, Pigginsoli, I'm going to say Gibraltar, Vlasov, Hughes, Van Hoyke, Costa, Inkhorn, and Bilbao. What a big breakaway. Why is Vlasov in the breakaway, man? Oh well. Let's increase the simulation speed and let's get to this first KOM point in the peloton. Who's working behind? Just T-Mobile Bianchi. Nothing really happening. Gap is 6 minutes. Four Ks to the top. No one really dropped from the breakaway. The breakaway gap is 6 minutes. 150 Ks still to go. Let's hope Vlasov's not killing himself. Is Grosschartner going to go for some of these mountain points here? It looks like he might be. It is a horse category, so there's 20 points on offer at the top. Inkhorn is protecting him. Van Hoyka also working on the front. Higita, maybe he wants some of those mountain points, but why the fuck is my boy Vlasov in here? Former Russian champ, as you see with the Russian armbands around his arms. Costa, of course, the current Portuguese national champion. What else have we got in here? I think that's it. 2.2Ks to go to the top. It's kind of just a bit of a stalemate here at the moment. Here we go, 900 meters. Alexei Boldan is the first to launch an attack. Hirgot's straight in as well. Higita is following. Pidcock is in the front. Fucking hell, everyone's just here. Riders have been dropped from the front bunch. Ham Van Hoyka, Pale Bilbao, Van Giels, Dunbar, and Pagenzoli. We say goodbye to the Lotto squad from the breakaway. That's weird, to be honest. But yeah. Oh, there's a crash at the front. Luckily we saw that. Menke's dropping out of contention from the breakaway. Hopefully on this descent they can all catch back up. At the back of the breakaway is Vinokurov and Hughes trying to sprint back into the front.
The pack doesn't seem to want to react, and the gap continues to widen with the breakaway.
Let's have a look, shall we? How long is the gap? Time gap starts from Evenepoel, and let's go up to the front. And of course I'm going to be biased and put it on my boy Vlasov. 8 minutes is the gap. Not too extreme. And Jorgensen's got a puncture on the descent. Luckily he can just tuck back in there. So increase that simulation of speed as we head through the valley on to the intermediate sprint point. Gap to the peloton is reducing ever so slightly. Let's hope the boys in this group here, like Vlasov, is not wasting his bloody energy being in the breakaway. No sprinters in this bunch here, but will anyone go for the points? It seems like they will not. No changes in the top riders there. Anyway, coming along, we've got a few hills now. The Pic de Russol, Mount B, and Col de la Trappe. Carry 1331, and then the finish line hill. Looks like an exciting end to the stage. We're about to start the category 1 climb now. Ham Van Hoyka back on the front for Vlasov. In the peloton, it's Caden Groves who's making Benfica and Bahrain victorious work. Any Bahrain riders in this front bunch? Yes. Harry Sweeney, Lesurf, Gigat. Interesting. So they just get to chill at the back because their team is working on the front. Benfica is not in that front bunch. Neither is Credit Agricole, I want to say. If they are, they've got Max Pool. Interesting. I'll be right back.
The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages above 10%.
Okay, I'm back. Let's have a look. Still pretty much the same. 1.9 kilometers from the top though, so we expect Grobschartner to try something again. Vlasov needs to be sitting in the pack behind, ideally, Ham Van Hoyka. The gap is extending now out to 8 minutes once again. Lawrence Hughes is gone. Jesus, 3 riders here from Bora Hansgrohe. Bolden is the first to launch an attack. Grobschartner on the wheel, Vlasov on the left, Pidcock on the right. Grobschartner now in the virtual lead of the KOM jersey. Red Bull KTM have passed it on to their own teammate. Interesting. Meanwhile, riders have been dropped. Han van Hoyke once again, Hergots, Hughes, Parquot, and Minkies dropped from the breakaway, of course, after he had that untimely puncture / crash. Peloton's just chilling. Well, kinda. I guess how hard is chilling, right? 3 kilometers to the next KOM point. Grobschartner moving up once again. Bolden also up there. 1.4 Ks to go.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high. Acceleration by Higita.
Hey, Van Hoyke's back. But Grobschartner takes maximum points there as everyone eases up over the top. Get a bit of regrouping, hopefully. 26 riders out in front. 7-minute lead, 60 kilometers. It's 50-50 whether they make it, to be honest.
There we go. That's 2/3 of the race behind us. So now it's the descent. It's less physically exhausting than a climb, but it's more stressful as the riders must choose their trajectory well and maintain a good position on the bike.
Robo on the front now, heading towards the last category 3 climb. Vlasov doing some work now. That's you should not be doing that, buddy. Especially not on this short of a climb. He's going for an attack now with Bilbao. Riccatello cannot respond. Vlasov first over the top of this climb. He's dead. Please recover in the descent, Vlasov. Please recover in the descent. Is Van Hoyke back in here? I don't think he is. No, he's not. Van Hoyke must be this man here, is he? Nope. There he is there, down the hill. 7 minutes 50 is the gap, 44 kilometers. It's still 50-50. Who's going to take it? Will it be the breakaway or will it be the peloton? Fast forward to get over to this category 1 climb. Vlasov on the front. Please don't be on the front, Vlasov. What the hell, man? Make someone else work. Yes, there we go. Pull across. Sit in the draft, man. I need you to make it over these hills so you can go move up in the GC into the yellow jersey, and that would make my day. Don't know if Mapai's ever held the yellow jersey, because I know they've won different tours before, but they won the Giro with Romiger, I want to say, or Zulla, one of those two. But yeah, anyway, Vlasov on the front, Remo in second, Grobschartner now, carry 1 climb, there's 15 points on offer, riders are dropping off the back, are they? Not quite. Yes, Bilbao's gone, he's sitting 20th overall. We say goodbye to Rui Costa. Warren Baggy just chilling in there. The hill only gets steeper from here. We see the gradient now heading to that black color, which is above 10. Vlasov, please don't drop. Vlasov, please don't drop. This is heartbreak in a stage. He's getting blocked by Le Surf now as everyone's moving up. He's moved right to the back of the peloton. Hopefully there's some good draft there for him, but I doubt it as Pidcock moves to the front to push the pace. Abrahamson now gone. The Ranger from Dimension Data also losing contact. Vlasov, he's swaying his shoulders. He's looking very worse. For where? God damn it, Vlasov! 1.4k to the top. There goes Vinokurov now. Vinokurov is being distanced. Vlasov sitting too far back once again. Now he's moving up towards the middle of the peloton. He sees some danger, but he is blocked by Maxim Van Gils. Vlasov on the far right of the road. Pidcock pushing the pace through the middle. There's 22 kilometers to go. Max pull in second wheel. Where's Vlasov? Vlasov is dead. He's going to make it into the second bunch on the road. Come on, boys. It's just a nice, gentle descent. Meanwhile, there's an attack from inside the peloton. There is. Caterpillar, Skelmoser and Jorgensen on the attack. Where is Remco? Remco cannot follow this. Arkea having riders spread out all across the road, making it difficult for everyone else to come around. Heading back to the front of the race. Who is the best placed rider in GC? It must be Vlasov. Vlasov must be the best placed rider in GC. He's the only one with the yellow border. He is 3 minutes down. At this moment, he's in the virtual yellow jersey. He just needs to keep up. Come on, Vlasov. Yellow jersey for Mapai. Yellow jersey for Mapai. We can do it, buddy. We can do it. On the front, it is still Pidcock. No, it's the Surf for Team Bahrain Victorious pushing the pace. Looking at this final hill, it's a gentle slope all the way before a punchy finish. The peloton is 9 minutes behind now. 9 minutes behind. Come on, Vlasov, you can do it, buddy. Pidcock with an attack, a little sneaky attack there. Court Nielsen and Paul are the first to follow. Bolden and Grofschatner. Vlasov knows he is out of positions. He is trying his hardest to catch back on. He's losing a bit of energy there. He is dropping off the back. He's going to have to settle for the second bunch there. Riccatello from Bora luckily pulls him back in. The Americans and the Russians working together once again. Abrahamson in Group 4, whatever Group 4 is. But looking back at the peloton ever so quickly, 18 riders left. Looks to be everyone else is still here. George Bennett, David Goddu. Back at the front, it is Max Pull with an attack.
Attacked by Eddie Dunbar.
Eddie Dunbar now. Interesting. 5.3 kilometers to go. This is where the action's all heading it off. Steinhauser now for Team Milram. Riccatello up the road, a four-man group. Court Nielsen, Gigat, Steinhauser and Riccatello. Riccatello looks like he could be the favourite out of this bunch to take it. Will they will ride away from this second bunch on the road. The Vlasov group is not following. With 3 kilometers to go, they're just giving the stage win away. What a stupid move. Riccatello and Steinhauser now going for the stage. Court Nielsen looks to be a little bit worse for wear. He's got the sprint though if he can keep in the wheel of the other two. 1.4k to go. It only gets steeper towards the finish line. We look around the corner. There's the finish line. Look at that. It's really quite steep there. Riccatello's in pole position. Steinhauser in second for Team Milram. But it's Court Nielsen who launches first for Team HTC. He gets round Steinhauser, but can he get round Riccatello? Riccatello launches from the front. Court Nielsen. Ooh, Riccatello. Court Nielsen. The HTC rider comes around the American at the last possible second. Meanwhile, in the main peloton is Max Pull, who starts the sprint first. Pidcock, Grobschartner, Picanzoli, Bolden, Dunbar, and Vlasov. Currently, the time will start to tick. Will Vlasov be in yellow tomorrow? That is the question. Let's head back down the road to the peloton, and let's see where they are at. 17 riders left now. Jorgensen on the front. Evenepoel has no domestics left. He could potentially be losing his yellow jersey into these other stages in the mountains. Carapaz trying something on the right-hand side of the road. Jorgensen counters with Bardet and Vokulin. Small gap opening up. Vingegaard is forced to chase them down. Looking at the time tick down, 6:50 is the gap. Vlasov is only... I don't know how far Vlasov was down, to be honest. I mean, Carapaz is 4 minutes, so it looks like Vlasov could still be into that yellow jersey on today's stage. Evenepoel will lead the GC favourites home, 7 minutes 40 down on Magnus Court. What an exciting stage. Who's an A7? Lipovitz. Anyway, heading right back down the road. Caden Groves is last on the road. Let's wait for that to tick through and wait and see if Alexander Vlasov will be in yellow tomorrow. There we have it. Let's look at the podium of the race. Well done to Magnus Cort Nielsen, winning the stage for Team HTC. Same time as Riccatello, 5 seconds back to Steinhauser, followed by Paul Pidcock, Grosschartner, and the Eddie Dunbar group. The page we're all waiting for is the next page with the yellow jersey. Who is going to be in yellow for the next stage? Alexander Vlasov! The team Mapai GB in the yellow jersey. Alexander Vlasov, the first Russian, I want to say, in the yellow jersey. 2 minutes ahead of Pidcock, 2 minutes 34 ahead of Remco Evenepoel. The top 10 has changed significantly. The Mapai squad, a second tier division squad, taking the yellow jersey. Excellent job by them. Grosschartner taking, of course, the mountain jersey off his teammate Dries de Bont. The points jersey, Philipsen still only a few points ahead of Milan and Pedersen. Pidcock moving up though, but over 120 points behind. Pidcock overtaking Evenepoel in the white jersey. Evenepoel will ride tomorrow in the T-Mobile Bianchi leaders, T-Mobile Bianchi jersey. No special jersey for him. All I'm happy about is Vlasov. I am so happy about Vlasov. And Lotto is taking over the team classification away from Timo Bianchi, who drops to 4th. So it seems like maybe Evenepoel needs some more domestics. Vlasov. We take these wins. We take these wins, lad. So looking at the time gaps on the stage, Evenepoel and the GC competitor in the GC finishing 7 minutes 44 down on the stage winner Magnus Cort Nielsen. Over an hour down, Caden Gross, who made it within the time cut. But looking at the top 10 in GC, Dunbar moves up. Cort Nielsen moves into the top 10 ahead of Rodriguez. Vlasov up 4 places, but Pidcock up 13. Big changes in the GC. We see DePlus, Sivakov, Healy, Jorgensen all moving down. The question is, can Mapai hold the yellow jersey into tomorrow's stage? No change in the points. Mountain Grobschartner, of course, takes it. Bolden up to 2nd. Young rider Pidcock overtaking Evenepoel, Rodriguez, Skelmos, Jorgensen and Healy to jump all the way into their lead. Up to the next stage, stage 12. Hopefully these hills aren't too hard, but they look like pretty dangerous climbs. Once again, it's still the big mountain boys who are going to be doing well. My take was wrong last time, so I guess, I don't know, I'm still going to go with Skelmos. He's got bit more decent of everything. Let's go into the 3D race, shall we? Haha, Vlasov in yellow. And looking at the start line, oh, Evenepoel in his world champion jersey. That looks pretty beautiful, but I think the most beautiful jersey on the start line is that Mapai yellow jersey. No transfer art, classic us, right? Rikonov in the Russian Federation jersey. Green jersey is Jesper Philipsen, and mountain jersey is Grosschartner. Red Bull KTM with 2 of those jerseys. Let's get these name tags on. I'll show off Mapai for a few more seconds, and then we can head into the race. Let's get into it. Let's look at what's on the cards today. Category 3 crime straight out the gate. It's 16 kilometers, 7.4% max, 10%. Down to a little valley with an intermediate sprint. Horse category climb 7.4 average percent, 14 kilometers in a category 1 climb. Looks like another day for a big breakaway. Let's hope Mapai can hold on to this leader's jersey. Even if we have it for one day, lads, it's still better than nothing. Looking into who is in the breakaway, we have David Godu on the front. Alexei Bodon, he wants to take that mountain jersey off. Grobschartner, who's also here Ryan Gibbons, the sprinter for Team Dimension Data, and 5 men behind them, Juan Pedro Lopez, Shigat Blikra Smith, and goddammit, Joe, you're going to have to tell me how to pronounce your riders' names, man. Like, I can't be butchering it every time I see him, and I can't be, like, ignoring him every time I see him, because that just seems weird. But, you know who I mean. Anyway, Bora's working on the front for some reason. Is Riccatello feeling strong today, or is once again Bora not realizing that Vlasov's not in their team? Rukhanov should be protecting Vlasov. He should not be exposed like that at the front of the race. Let's head to the front, and let's increase the simulation speed to get through these KOM points here. And the two breakaways have made one. Gap is 3 minutes, 150 kilometers to go. 3 riders from Dimension Data, but it doesn't matter because David Gaudu is on the offensive all straight away. All 3 of them are to the back. Gaudu takes maximum points. Grobschartner second, Bolden in third. Peloton is Team Sky on the front, HTC, Netherlands Lottery. Fuglsang here, hopefully for Vlasov. Donovan there also. Nope. Fucking Vlasov exposed to the wind all by himself, as is Carlos Rodriguez. What a great strategy AI. Anyway, all we can do is blame the manager, which of course is me. 21 kilometers, the intermediate sprint. Shouldn't see too much action before then. The hill's a little bit up and down, but that makes it a little bit more exciting for the riders. It's just the camera ever so slightly. There we go. We can see what's happening ahead of us. Going through a few small towns. Great to see some spectators on the sides of the road. 2 minutes is the gap. So who's the hell is working at the front to close that gap? Is Ben Turner and Arna DeLee. Are they wanting the sprint points, perhaps? Perhaps. Oh, we missed that sprint. Apologies. I was a little bit distracted. Anyway, back at the peloton, it's Philipsen going for the rest of those points. Grobschartner took them there. Philipsen trying to extend his lead in the green jersey, and no one else really caring. Okay, heading up to the Hawes category climb, we see Timo Kielik has dropped out of contention there. Rider dropped from the breakaway, and it is Ryan Gibbons, as it is still Lotto and Team Sky on the front doing the work. I'm just happy to see Vlasov in yellow actually been protected now by Corbin Strong. Well done to him. Up the road into the breakaway. Will they make it up the climb before the peloton catches them? That is the question. Bodon has been dropped. Blikra has been dropped. Grobschartner has been dropped. It's just Lopez and Gibraltar. Nope, it's just the rider from Eritrea who is on the front. Group behind still looking pretty dead. Peloton coming charging at them, led by Josh Tarling and Steinhauser. Don't worry, I'll be less distracted shortly, lads. The breakaway is almost all back together, 1.2 kilometers to the top. These two are going for a sprint for the points, but it is the Eritrean who takes maximum points over the top. Grossschartner can't do anything. David Godu just moves ahead of him.
He broke from the pack like a greyhound.
Bolden from the pack, trying to gain as many mountain points as possible.
Trajectory.
Let's wait till the mountain classification puts up on the screen. It must have already done so. Anyway, these two riders here up onto the next category 1 climb. 7.7% average, 15.2 maximum. 9.4 kilometers long, but the Eritrean, who is used to the high mountains, is just able to ride away from the rest of the breakaway. Riders at the back of the peloton are being dropped, mostly sprinters, rouleurs, no one of really any significance. Please hope Vlasov's got domestic. He has. Donovan is now protecting Vlasov. Great work by them. Lopez has now been caught by Grossschartner and Godu, as Gigat is now up the front with the Eritrean. Well done to him. Could he be taking over the KOM classification? He could be if we pay more attention to the riders as they go over the top. Only 2 riders now in front of the peloton. Everyone else has been caught by the peloton. The green jersey has been dropped. We say goodbye to, who is it, Philipson? Philipson, out the back of the peloton. These guys are going 13 k's an hour up the climb. It means it must be a tough day for them. Grossschartner tries to hang on to gain as many points as possible as he still leads that classification.
It's survival of the fittest, and evolution doesn't seem to favor those in the rear. There's a growing list of riders left behind.
Small split in the back of the peloton. We're expecting that on this long descent before the final category 1 climb. It should come down to a sprint at the end of this stage. Back at the front, it's still the Eritrean. He's now got, what's that, 2 minutes 40 on the peloton. And here's the last man standing, as Gigat has now been caught by the Mapai-led peloton. Mapai now sending a few domestics to the front. The Russian road race champion Mark Donovan, Corbin Strong, Kim Hajduk there for Tim Milram, and the Netherlands Lottery have Veer there for them. Another group of riders has been dropped from the pack, but out in front, 2 minutes 20 is the gap for the Eritrean. He will gain another 15 points in the mountain classification if he summits the climb before the peloton. I hope that's his goal. It looks like he is just chilling now at the front of the pack. 1.6 kilometers to the top. The peloton's closing in. He should get there just before the... Yeah, he'll get away. Grossschartner with a cheeky little sneaky attack takes maximum points over the top there. Mark Donovan counters. Interesting move by the man from Mapai. Mapai, remember, is in the leader's jersey. He's attacking on the descent. He wants to go for the stage. He must have got permission from Vlasov to go for the stage win. Mark Donovan, he's onto it. Another counter-attack over the top. Victor Campanarts is going for it. The peloton's still quite big, 100 riders. So soon the sprinters teams will take over and do some of that pace making. It's not up to Mapai now, as Donovan is on the front. Only 40 seconds is the gap. We see a few riders now distanced from the peloton. Who is that? Jonathan Milan has lost contact with the peloton. I'm surprised Bahrain's not going back for him, even though if he is a bit worse for wear, it's a finish that would definitely suit him, and he could definitely use the points in taking and overtaking Jasper Philipsen in that points classification. But even then, he's being distanced by Pierre Latour on the flat, so maybe he's not feeling the greatest today. Hogarth and Farm Frights on the front with Benfica and Milram. Campanarts still 20 seconds ahead of the peloton. A further 20 seconds ahead of that is Mark Donovan for the Mapai GB squad. Remembering, of course, GB will be leaving the sport at the end of this season. More riders distance, another big split in the peloton. We say goodbye to, please hope it's no one important, Simmons, Fogelsang, Inkhorn, Eolotti, Van Hoyke. A lot of Vlasov, all of Vlasov's fucking domestics have been dropped. Puncture for Niels Pollitt at the wrong time, like a key man in the lead out for Team T-Mobile Bianchi. With 20 Ks to go, I do not think these two solo riders will be making it as Dox jumps across to Campanat as he sits up. Another two riders going for it from Team Benfica as we see the lead out train for Arkea B&B Hotels now. George Bennett moving up. Is he moving his sprinter up? Or is he moving someone more important up? Rikonov is still here for Alexander Vlasov. He needs a few more domestics around him though. Perhaps Corbin Strong could sprint for it. And it's all come back together. Mark Donovan's attack did not much. 14 kilometers to go. Steinhauser on the front, still pushing the pace. Looks to be no real sprint trains here, so it's going to be a sprint between the GC men, I guess. Remco Evenepoel could take the stage. And will we see a late-minute attack from a rider? Here's Corbin Strong moving up. Strong has a strong chance of taking the stage. He's sitting up behind Hugo Hofstetter. I guess Hofstetter would be the favourite of all the sprinters to win the stage. It's going to be a reduced bunch sprint with no big sprinters. Here I am hoping Corbin Strong knows what he's doing and knows that he's going for the win, not to lead out someone else. Where did Hofstetter go? Hofstetter's sitting... Yeah, how did Hofstetter go? There he is. He's sitting there behind Grul, who's sitting behind Strong, who sits up. As now Vlasov is moving to the front. Maybe Vlasov's going to go for the stage win. 4 kilometers to go. Grul being led out by Ver. An interesting win for Netherlands Lottery as Josh Tarling goes for a cheeky attack. Corbin Strong is the first to counter. Doesn't quite have the legs to follow down as Jakob Fogelsang moves across to the side. Vlasov in the wheel. A little bit of a sprint train there for Alexander Vlasov for the Russian. Through the left-hand side of the screen, Pale Bilbao. It's the GC man being leader. Vlasov's going to take the stage. No, Pidcock's going to pass him on the line. Yes! Vlasov takes the stage in the yellow jersey. Oh, wouldn't have expected that. What a win by the Russian for Team Mapai GB. What a winning... Oh, I love this race. This is a beautiful race. Would have thought they would have worked for Corbin Strong, but Vlasov to take the win. Beautiful. And in the yellow jersey too, how beautiful. Absolutely stunning. There's Milan now coming across the line. Let's head to the last person on the road. Who is the last person on the road? Tim Melier and Anna Deli, the European road race champion and the Belgian road race champion, both riding together.
Man, you gotta have that time where you just like disconnect from the scene, just the race. Like, and it's a race that I've created in my head, you know. But you have to step away from it.
Will there be a sprint between these two for the finish line? No. Well, that's poor. But Vlasov takes the stage in the Tour of France. Let's have a look at that podium, shall we? There he is, Alexander Vlasov for Mapai. Let's take a screenshot of that. What's that? That's the screenshot button there. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful win by the Russian. And he gets a 10 bonus seconds in the GC too, doesn't he? Oh, he extends his lead in the yellow jersey. Climber classification still Grobschattner as Bolden and Gibraltsheimer get closer. Philipsen is 9 points ahead of Milan in the points classification. Pedersen a few points off. Young rider is Pidcock and Lotto still the team classification. What a win. Any big time gaps? Really just a big sprint here. No one, I guess Hickey's losing time. Let's have a look at the change in GC. Court Nielsen loses some time as Rodriguez climbs up. Of course, you know, Vlasov gains that 10 seconds. Van Gils and Goldu swapping around a bit. Paul and Steinhauser. Points, no change. Mountain. The Eritrean moves up. No change in youth. And team, no change there. Second to last stage of today's stream, 118 kilometers. Another short stage with 2 horse category climbs, 1 intermediate sprint. Favorites, of course, Tadej Pogačar. Now I'm expecting to lose the yellow jersey here with Vlasov on this stage. Just because I didn't think he'd keep it this long, to be honest. I thought we'd lose at yesterday's stage. But he's doing brilliantly. Time for a pay rise, is it, Vlasov? Especially after his downgrading to 77 in all his stats.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. A mountain terrain that commands respect, and only a strong man will have what it takes. It's certainly not a task for weak or ill-prepared riders.
Yeah, those hills don't look... Oh my goodness, that last hill is going to ruin everyone.
Oh boy, they're attacking a long way.
So I'm expecting a big breakaway in today's stage. Of course, yep. Mappa, you've got to send one rider into the breakaway so you don't have to work in the peloton. That's how it works. Grossschartner in the KOM jersey is run by Butrago, Gelders, Bar, Hajduk, Bilbao, Pool, Hagens, my favourite Eritrean rider. And the peloton is being led by Quickstep and Team Sky, or are they just chilling? Really, everyone's just kind of chilling. Intermediate sprint coming up, so will we see Philipsen and Milan going for it? No, probably just Philipsen, because for some reason Milan doesn't go for intermediate sprints. But here we go, Philipsen's going to go for that there. Didn't really need to see it at the front, because no one's really in contention for that, but Gelders took a hit of Pool and Bar, and Philipsen takes that with no other contest. Let's head to the front, where the breakaway's only got a minute 30, so it looks to be another day for the peloton. Pretty easy first few kilometers until we hit the big fuck-off climb of the day, the Col de Tourmalet. Oh, up the Tourmalet today. Well done. What a ride up the Tourmalet then to pick these 10s. Front of the peloton is Team Sky, Lotto and Quickstep. Not sure who Quickstep is riding for. Moschetti's here at the front too. He's protecting Vlasov on the flat. I can say this tour has been very eventful for the Mappai squad. Last minute addition as I came back to the PCM SimGame after, well, ages off, to be honest. My mistake entirely. Just had a lot of shit going on in life. But yeah, Hagner's has been dropped for Team Benfica from the breakaway. 8 men still out in front. Don't think they're going to be doing too much damage today, to be honest. Hajduk's not rolling turns, the rider from Milram. His team either want him to just be a rider up front for a future attack, or they just don't want to work. Hey, Mappai is now doing some work on the front, as is Lotto with Anat Deli, as we see an attack from well, why are they attacking now? There was a little climb, to be honest, but nothing too major. Let's change the angle of that camera again so we can see a bit more up the road. There we go. Minute 47 is the gap. Rider has been dropped from the peloton. Who is that? Luc Lamperty has been dropped before the Col de Tourmalet. Let's hope he will not run out of time. Don't forget he's already got his stage win there today. Intermarché Wante on the front with Mappai. They are working for Sivakov, of course, who is now 13th overall, losing a bit of time on a few of those earlier stages. Vlasov be at the front, but not too close to the front. Better keep yourself out of that wind. 1 kilometer an hour from the right-hand side of the road, nothing too major, as the breakaway is splintering apart. I'm not surprised. It is the Tourmalet. Let's grab our helicopter view, shall we? And look at the beautiful climb here. Oh, if I do this, actually, I can control which way the camera goes, right? Yes. Look at that. Just the beautiful terrain. Trees everywhere. Okay, move, trees, move. But look at that. Big, beautiful hills.
Looks like a few riders at the back are beginning to stall.
And the Grossschartner has been dropped. He's about to be caught by the peloton. We say goodbye to the green jersey, which I'm not surprised about, to be honest. Like, look at it. We're about to hit this big climb. It's better that they set up, ride their own speed up the climb, so they don't die at the ferocious pace. A few riders getting bottles before the actual climbing starts. Still Intermarché, Wanty, and Lotto on the front. Buitrago has attacked his breakaway companions. He's going for the win. He holds a minute, almost 2 minutes now on the peloton. The peloton's slowly thinning out. Continue to climb up the Tourmalet. Let's head back to the peloton and see what's happening. It is Intermarché, Wanty, Gobert, is that their name currently? What is their actual name? Intermarché, Wanty, yeah. And they have made the catch. Buitrago has been caught. It is now Mark Donovan on the front for Team Mapai GB. They can slow it down a little bit. See a little bit of a cheeky attack there on the right hand side by Bolden from Team Quickstep. Quickstep Energetic, I think, is their name, or the name of that jersey at the time, I want to say. Yeah, Quickstep Energetic. And look at that. We zoom in just as he attacks. That is a classic jersey. That one, I think, is 2005, 2006 maybe. Oh, there's been someone who's been dropped. Bilbao has been dropped from the peloton, as has Max Pull. Two riders who could have done well on the stage. Bolden takes maximum points. The peloton's not too interested in chasing. They're protecting, of course, Alexander Vlasov as Donovan, Van Hoyke, and Bob Jungels on the front. Grobschartner still in the lead, 20 points ahead of Alex Bolden. It'll come down to the final hill if either of those lads are up the road. But I doubt they will be, so Grobschartner holds on to his mountain jersey. Meanwhile, coming in behind Higuita, Lopez, Uterbrooks, Romo, just hanging off the back of the peloton. A few bike lanes open up in these sweeping corners. That's not what you want to happen. As much as descending, you want to try and like hold your own line. You want to not be dropped, right? Because if they're going a kilometre faster, they get the draft. It's a pain in the ass to get back on. Anyway, Bolden now has a minute 33 lead. We'll catch up with the peloton at the bottom of the next climb. Small little city we're going through. Bolden's holding a 1 minute 40 lead over the 70-man peloton. Those riders did get back on, but out the back we have the two Kiwis, Corbin Strong and Dion Smith, riding together, both punchers, I guess, puncher sprintery riders. They haven't really made a big effect on this race so far. At the front of the peloton, it is the Mapai squad, Donovan, Fogelsang, and Van Hoyke, whereas Jungels, maybe he's back protecting Vlasov, I want to say. Good to see everyone's got the same bikes on. There's Jungels there. Yes, he is protecting Alexander Vlasov. And of course, Alex Bodon of Team Quickstep is up the road. Looking at down this graph here, we see the back of the yellow bar. That's the last rider on the road. They're just cresting the top of that climb now. They're going to be in for a world of hell, as the second climb is worse than the first. 14 kilometers, average 8.7%, which is steeper than the Tourmalet, shorter than the Tourmalet, and the max gradient is 14.6%. See that black section? That black section is the steepest part on the road. That is when the riders will be putting the hurt into each other's legs. I've got faith in Vlasov, but I do think we will lose the jersey today. Today looks like a Pogačar masterclass attack kind of day. That's what it seems like. Anyway, it's still Mapai on the front. Carrot Agricole have got Pierre Latour there, so Pogačar must be feeling good if they've got a domestic at the front working. Abrahamson there for Carlos Rodriguez, Ver for Vingegaard, and Schultz for Milram is Skelmoser, that's right. Team Sky, of course, have got Ben Healy and Tom Pidcock. Tom Pidcock is sitting in second overall. He's wearing the white jersey because he was also in the same breakaway with Vlasov. Bolden's gap is being reduced. Looks like he's sitting up a bit. He's like, oh, why did I attack, man? Look at this hill. It's a big, big wall. The wall has begun straight away to 8%. Looking on the left-hand side of the screen, you see the little triangle. That is the gradient that these riders are riding up now. 8.5%. They're still going 15 k's an hour. Hell, Nick Schultz is going 25 k's an hour up here. Bloody ferocious climb. Pogačar moving slightly back a bit. Vlasov needs a domestic to help him out. Why are the Mapai team all the way at the back? Skelmoser's got Steinhauser in front of him. Poggy's got no one, but Poggy's got these insane secondary stats. Vlasov does not. Van Hoyke is there for Vlasov, but Van Hoyke is looking a little bit worse for wear, the Belgian rider. Yves Napol's got no one, but, well, he is world champion. Pierre Latour on the front, the Frenchman who we thought back in the day would be a great contender at the Tour of France. Now he works for Tadej Pogačar, pulling him up the slopes, protecting him from the wind. Heading back down the climb, yeah, it's Bilbao and Max Pull. They will be losing their position in the top 20, and it looks like the whole Quickstep squad is just stuffing around at the back. 67 riders at the front, 8 kilometers to go. The wall's about to get steeper. We're sitting about 7% now. But if we look on the graph, we see it's about to hit the black point. It's about to go above 10%. It's about to just get worse and worse for these lads. Richard Carapaz, he's got one domestic left. He's got Airlotti there, the Italian on the French squad with the Ecuadorian. Here comes Mark Donovan now. Is he moving up to help Vlasov? I hope he is. If he's doing another cheeky attack, I'm going to have a talk to him on the team bus afterwards, because that is not on. There's Lipovitz. Remember, Lipovitz was in the top 10, but he sacrificed himself for his teammate Remco Evenepoel when he was in yellow. Mapai now sitting a bit behind. We see Vlasov's shoulders are swaying a bit. He's looking a bit tired. There's 5.3 Ks to go. Remembering Vlasov holds a slender 2-minute lead on Evenepoel. They can gain that in 3 kilometers. He just needs to sit in and follow the attacks. T-Mobile on the front with Gil Martin. Carapaz launches an attack, the Ecuadorian off the front, as Team Milram launches Steinhauser and Skelmoser after Carapaz. Skelmoser manages to sit in the wheel. Where's the rest of the Mapai domestics gone? They need to be up there with Vlasov. They need to protect him from the wind. See, Poggy's got Gregoire. Gregoire's pulling Poggy up the hill. 3.6 kilometers to go. Is there going to be another sprint finish? Vlasov could hold the yellow jersey into the next stage, into the 3rd week even.
The pace is so high that a few riders are going to be very sore at the end of the day.
Here we go, lads. Tadej Pogačar on the front, pushing the pace. We're going to see an attack. Vlasov is dead. Alexander Vlasov is worse for wear. Alexander Vlasov is dead. Ah, for fuck's sake, Vlasov. Shouldn't have done all that work on the front. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on them. Let's drew a time gap from Vlasov to Pogačar. 2 minutes is the time gap. 30 seconds is what it is now. Pogačar is just riding everyone off as well. He's doing what the great Big Mig did. Big Mig didn't have acceleration. He used to just ride his pace and just keep pumping up the pressure. The gap is 1 minute 10, 1 minute 12. There's a 3-minute gap between them. Vlasov could be losing his yellow jersey here. Poggy's just chilling. Look at him. He's celebrating already. It's 400 meters from the line. He did a celebration. 2 minutes now. Vlasov might hang on with a slender lead, it seems. No, it seems not. It seems Poggy will take the win and the yellow jersey. Fucking hell, Vlasov.
And it's a superb sprint win.
But well done to Tadej Pogačar. Meanwhile, coming in second is Evenepoel. He's just overtaken Vingegaard there on the line. Evenepoel in second, losing 1 minute 30 to Pogačar. Rodriguez coming in 4th. Yeah, Vlasov's just losing heaps of time at the moment. God damn it, man. Our dream of the yellow jersey is gone. Lopez is gone. Pidcock, here he comes now. Vlasov now being led across the line with Carapaz, De Plus and Minkies. Riccatello is also here, the young American rider for Bora. Vlasov just inside the top 20 there. Ah, what the hell.
Strongest can create some gaps.
Luke Lamperty, last man on the road. He's got 11 Ks to go. He's got just under an hour to finish the stage. One more stage for the evening, and then we will do the rest of it tomorrow. "20 minutes of 5Ks. Ah, Lamperty's going to make it. I hope so. It's 9 minutes, 2 kilometers. Slowing down to ×1 speed. Oh, who's this? Moschetti? No, not Moschetti. Oh, please, 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 please. Sprint, Moschetti. Sprint. Sprint, bastard. Sprint. Sprint. Whew. Moschetti and Lamperty just making it in the time cut. Bloody hell. And here we have the podium for the race. Tadej Pogačar wins the stage, minute 37 over Remco. And we see 3 minutes, the top 10. Vlasov outside that. Vlasov outside the yellow jersey. Well done to the rider from Credit Agricole. Ah, Poggy is in yellow, but Vlasov is still in second. He's not doing as badly as I thought he was. I thought we were going to drop right down the ranks. In that case, our goal is a podium, but Vingegaard and Evenepoel has something to say about that. But only 2 seconds separating Evenepoel and Vlasov. Carapaz in 10th, 7:58. Grossschartner still in that KOM jersey. Well done to him. The hell's happening with the bloody podium? Oh, it's desyncing. Oh, look at that. That's funny, isn't it? Phillipson in the green jersey. Well done to him. Evenepoel back in white as Pidcock loses time. Lotto still in the team classification lead. One more stage for the night, but looking down, these two riders made it just within the time cut. Moschetti and Lamperty, well done to both of them. Vlasov was in 4 minutes 12. Bagar Pionia kept onto the Carapaz group, but otherwise, looking at the GC, big changes. Poggi up 3, Vlasov down 1, Vingegaard up 2, Pidcock down. Welcome to Jorgensen being in the top 10. Court Nielsen, he's gone. Carapaz holding strong to 10th. Points classification, no change in the top 2, no change in the mountain. Youth, Evenepoel and Pidcock swap. Team, no major change there. And here we have the last stage of tonight. It's a 95-kilometer stage. It's a very short stage. 2 intermediate sprints and 1 final sprint with, what's that, 100 points on offer there for the team. For 100 points, right, yeah. 60 and then 40 and then 40, yeah, for the sprinters classification. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. It's going to be a monotonous day when it comes to the terrain, but at least the teams with sprinters won't be complaining. And, of course, those opportunists with a bit of daring won't make their life easy. He moves on to the attack! There's no real sense to it, but at least he gets a mention. He broke from the back like a greyhound. An attack is launched. That's really a punchy attack. There's more than a minute on the clock. The brake seems to be working. The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
Apologies, I am back. 2 riders up the road. It is Anderson and Vin Nikruk. Very short stage, of course. So will the breakaway be allowed to get a gap? They will not. That's why the yellow bar looks quite big, even though it is only 2 minutes. Credit Agricole on the front there. And of course, Team Bahrain for Jonathan Milan. I'm of course going to say Moschetti's going to take it. He's spent a few days saving his energy at the back of the peloton, being last on the stage. Here we go. Ready for some intermediate sprints now, are we? Team Bahrain pushing the pace. HTC for Tim Millier also pushing the pace. Bellens moving up for Anna Deli for Team Lotto. Phillipson there and a little bit of a lead-out train with Red Bull KTM at the front. Are the riders sprinting for it? They are not. Vlasov 2. Vlasov is great. There's 2 men. You missed Vlasov in yellow, man. You missed a Vlasov in yellow. Anyway, Merlier has been led out by Court Nielsen. Merlier launches. Where is Phillipson? He normally goes for these intermediate sprints. He's being blocked by Milan on the right-hand side of the road. Milan comes around at the last possible second. Hugo Hofstetter there also. Speed up to the second intermediate sprint. There's not much actually happening here. And the breakaway has been caught. Well, the South African rider has been. The Danish rider has not been. 10 kilometers intermediate sprint. To be honest, man, I'm just fast forwarding this. I'm kind of over this second week thing. Kind of want to just lay down and stop commentating. Luckily, it's a short stage. Thanks for tuning in, some of you people. 2.7k is the intermediate sprint. We should see some sprint trains coming up soon. There's Hofstedt on the left-hand side with Arkea, B&B. Corbin Strong getting in the mix. Is he leading up Muschietti? He is, but Muschietti has been distanced. Corbin Strong on the front, ending up leading up everyone else. Philipsen on the left-hand side, Muller on the right, but Muschietti taking third away from Milan. Philipsen in the green jersey still. 30k is to the finish line. Expecting a mass bunch sprint, pure flat stage. Well, there's a little bit of a rise at the end, but nothing too major. Maybe some crosswind sections in here might have made it a bit more exciting. Happy to have a transitional stage. And here we go, slowing down the simulation speed. 15k's to go. What's going to happen here? Tadej Pogacar is up towards the front. Is he going to be let out for the sprint, perhaps? Or is he just keeping out of trouble? There's 8 men off the back of the peloton. Steimler, Smith, Ver. Yeah, all these Seychelles, of course, you know. How great is he to be off the back? On the right-hand side, we have HTC Columbia with Tim Muller, Groenewegen with Groupama FDJ, Philipsen through the middle with Red Bull KTM, Milan with Bahrain victorious.
Only 10 kilometers left.
Muschietti looking for a wheel, looks like he's hiding behind Mario Schmid. Lotto sending a lead-out man for De Lee. Oh, Muschiett's going to hide behind Philipsen there, that's what's happening.
Up front. It'll probably be a mass sprint finish.
Corbin Strong moving up now, 7.8 kilometers to go. Little bit of a rise. Lamperty on the back of Philipsen. Muller with his lead-out train. Groves behind Groenewegen. Credit Agricole going all over the road. Pedersen's here. That's who Credit Agricole's riding for, not Pogacar. Abrahamson getting in the way of Milan and Bauhaus. We know Bauhaus is the power lead-out man. The best lead-out man in the business here at this Tour de France. Coming up through the middle, Groupama FDJ on the left-hand side of the road. On the right-hand side of the road, Red Bull KTM. Mario Schmid launching the Bont in second. Philipsen, Strong and Muschietti there. Also Axel Lawrence and Kurt Nielsen. Strong pulls across. Where is Muschietti? Muschietti is out of position on the left-hand side of the road. 2.4 kilometers to go. Bahrain with the best lead-out train. There goes Bauhaus, the fastest lead-out man in this race. Milan in second wheel. He needs to launch now. Philipsen needs to launch now, you bastards. Why do you guys all launch too late, man? Way too late. Anyway, Milan takes the stage ahead of Philipsen and Pedersen. Pedersen, then Philipsen. Muschietti with a 6th position. Well done to them. Small gap to Pogacar, but no major time loss there, I don't think. Gamper losing some time, and there's a bunch of riders here, but no one of any significance, it seems. Looking at the final podium of week 2, Jonathan Milan takes another stage in this Tour of France. Pogacar still in the lead, Vlasov 2nd, Evenepoel 3rd. Grosschartner still in the climber. Philipsen only by 7 points now ahead of Milan in the green jersey, and Remco in white. Thank you for joining me for week 2 of the Tour of France. Let's get a look at this GC. Top 40, because it's not the whole thing, so I don't really mind about not giving more than 40. George Bennett looking good, 36th position. Points for week 2. Philipsen, slim lead over Milan. Grosschartner still leading 20 points over Alexis Baudon. Young rider Evenepoel. And Team Lotto. Let's have a look at what the final week will bring for the riders. Another big mountain stage where Vlasov is guaranteed to lose more time. 2 big, lots of mountain points on offer. Who knows what will happen there. Stage 16. Colombia. Bloody hell, there's some big mountain stages. Then some... There's medium mountain, but they could be doing some damage in the middle part here. Big damaging stage. 19. That looks like a more day for some of those cheeky attacks to go up the road. Stage 20 got some big cobbles. Can't tell what the cobble sectors are. Hopefully they're not too dangerous, or we could see some huge splits. Then of course the Champs-Élysées stage to finish on. Well, thank you lads for tuning in to our week 2 of the Giro. Another 2-hour stream. I'll see you fellows in the morning. Ka-chow.